Nearly 1 in 4 American women between the ages of 18 and 65 have experienced domestic violence. 1 in 4 women will be sexually assaulted in college campuses.
40% of girls aged 14 to 17 report knowing someone who has been beaten or hurt by their boyfriend, yet 9 out of 10 rapes go unreported.
2.78 million men in the U.S. have completed or attempted a rape in their lifetime, and 1 in 6 women in the United States have been victims of an attempted or completed rape in their lifetime.
Women who are victimized in a domestic abuse relationship can have multiple problems that are a direct result of such abuse. These problems can affect all aspects of functioning and can be short-lived or chronic.
Violence against women is a violation against human rights and the fundamental freedoms of a woman. Violence against women violates the right to liberty and the security of a person.
Right to equal protection under the law.
The highest attainable standard of physical and mental
Right
health.
to be free from all forms of
Right
discrimination.
not to be subjected to torture or other cruel, inhumane, or degrading treatment or punishment.
What we don't know is that all this happens in our own backyard.
Children growing up in a violent family believe that where they grew up is a normal family environment. The truth is that men are too often dispossessed and exposed to overwhelming losses of respect and human dignity, resulting in a toxic legacy being handed down from father to son.
Friendship of Women is a local organization in Brownsville, Texas. It helps women, children, and occasionally men overcome a history of fear, abuse, oppression, and violence.
The Friendship of Women's Inc.'s mission is to provide leadership and support for all families facing violence and sexual assault. They provide comprehensive services for the survivors of domestic violence. All services for victims are free and confidential.
Due to discretion purposes, we couldn't film inside the facilities and we had to sign a non-disclosure contract. But in one of our meetings with Daisy, she said that Friendship of Women provides free and confidential services to men, women, and children in the southern Cameron County areas. From its beginning in 1977, Friendship of Women Inc. has held true to its belief that all persons have the right to self-determination, respect, and dignity regardless of their race, color, sex, national origin, age, disabilities, region, or sexual orientation.
Benefits that women receive while being in this facility includes 24-hour temporary emergency shelter, 24-hour crisis hotline, legal advocacy, counseling, and crisis intervention and peer support groups.
Along with that, the women, children, or men also get medical, court, and law enforcement accompaniments, supportive housing services, education through the Battering Intervention and Prevention Program, and community education and prevention.
The Catholic social teaching themes that apply best to this issue are call to family, community, and participation, rights and responsibilities, and option for the poor and vulnerable. It ties into the Catholic social teaching document Dignatus Personae, translated to the dignity of a person, written by the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith in 1998.
The document states that human history shows how many have abused and can continue to abuse the power and capabilities which God has entrusted to him, giving rise to various forms of unjust discrimination and oppression of the weakest and most defenseless. In the name of promoting human dignity, practices and forms of behavior harmful to that dignity have been prohibited. For example, there are legal and political, and not just ethical, prohibitions on racism, slavery, unjust discrimination, and marginalization of women, children, ill, and disabled people. When another category of persons is being oppressed in the fundamental right to life, the Church feels in duty bound to speak out with the same courage on behalf of those who have no voice. The fulfillment of this duty implies courageous opposition to all those practices which result in grave and unjust discrimination.
Therefore, the programmatic focus of the agency, Friendship of Women, reaches beyond the provisions of counseling and shelter to embrace the prevention and interruption of violence in a wider community. They join with all parts of the community in mutual strategies to ultimately eradicate family violence.